Welcome to this AV Mentors presentation. We're going to be talking a little bit about how to spend your spring break productively and efficiently so that way you come out of spring break refreshed and ready to tackle the last leg of the school year. So we're just going to be covering some stuff about how to plan out your week so that you're productive and organized, making sure that you take some time to do some personal stuff, and also if you want to, do some school stuff so that you can get ahead, and making sure that you're not you're finding a balance between your school and your personal life, and you're able to recharge over break. So the first thing is just planning out your week. This is one of the examples of something that you can do to plan out your week, which is just splitting up your goals into different categories and marking them based on how important you think they are, because you do want to make sure that you know what you definitely want to get done during break versus what is something you'd like to do but if you have time. And so this is just a really good way to make sure that you have a list of what you know you want to do, so that way if you get into each day, getting into planning each day, or even if you don't like to plan your days out, just going in the beginning of the day saying, hey, I'm not really sure what I want to do today. Oh, I wanted to do this, so maybe I'll just sit and I'll read this book, or I'll spend some time with my family today. So this just really helps to make sure that you don't go back and say like, oh, I wanted to do this over break, but I just never really got to. And it helps you keep on track. So this is kind of adding on to that. Make sure that you write actionable steps to achieve your goals. So this is more related to like maybe academics or as such. But if you, like, for example, you want to become confident with some study material for a certain class, then list many different ways that you're planning on working on it. And the ones on the slide are a little bit heavier, but so don't be overwhelmed and don't feel like you have to do a lot. But these are just examples of straightforward ways that you can list out what you want to do. You want to make sure that if this is important to you, you want to make it as simple as possible to know what you need to do, not just say, I'm going to study, because you'll waste a lot of time figuring out what you're going to do at that time. And now we're just going to go into a couple different ways that you can plan out your day. So this is one. The sample is shown in the side of the screen, and it's just a template of planning out your day where you can mark any meetings you have, split up time to do certain tasks, have a little like to-do box where you can just check off stuff as you do, and it's really useful if you like to plan out your day hour by hour, half an hour by half an hour in this case, and also be able to keep track of everything. And you can make like notes after the day goes by to see, oh, how much did I really do? Was there anything that got moved around and such? And another online option would be Notion. So Notion is an app, if you guys haven't heard of it, it's really flexible and you guys can probably use it for a lot of different things. I have my homework planner on there to make sure that I don't forget any assignments. So it's a really versatile app, but it can also be used for to-do lists and creating weekly agendas. So you can plan out your week on Notion, and there's plenty of videos on YouTube on how to create aesthetic notions and productive notions, or you can just go with the simple template that Notion gives you. Either way would be fine, but I think that Notion is definitely an app that would help if you wanted to just set some to-dos and stuff. And then the last one is listing your all of the things you want to do and how much time it would be. And this allows for a more flexible day where you might just go with the flow, feeling like, oh, I want to maybe start off my day talking with my friends, and then after that I'll do a little bit of work. And when I feel like it, I'll do this next. So it kind of allows you to have a little bit more flexibility, while also knowing that what you need to do that day. So you're kind of just writing out, oh, this is what I'm going to do, this is how much time it would take. So that way you're able to kind of plan out your day using the time of the activities instead of putting them exactly when you're going to do them. And so the next part is academics. So you have spring break, it's a week. You can use that to catch up or get a little bit ahead on schoolwork, or you can just use it to take a break from schoolwork. It's really up to you and what you feel would be best for you and help you recharge over break. So if you are planning to go over some schoolwork with finals, depending on if you're taking AP classes or regular, they are anywhere from a month away to 2 months away. And that does seem quite far, but you also do want to make sure you don't get overwhelmed at the last minute. So maybe take a couple minutes to reflect on your last semester grades and say, oh, I did better in these classes, and the final actually helped bring up my grade, or the final brought down my grade. Looking at that and saying, okay, what classes should I be focusing on for the next stretch of the semester, which classes I'm doing better this semester compared to last semester, and going over some things like that so that you know where you stand. And making sure you know what to prioritize. So what classes do you have lower test scores than you wanted to? Do you want to take some time to review that stuff over spring break? Which classes do you enjoy? Maybe take some time to delve deeper into those classes and get a little bit more interested and learn more about certain topics. So just make sure that you try to think about these things. That way you're able to really productively work on this. And of course, it's completely okay to just take a break from school entirely, because we know that spring break is a break. So if you feel like school has been exhausting and you just want to take a break and shut out all academics for a while, that's totally okay. Yeah. And next thing is just making sure that you find balance. So make sure you guys are getting sleep. You have breaks, so try to get as much sleep as possible, especially since you don't have school. And maybe try to do some things that you might not necessarily have the time to in a regular week, like maybe watching some TV, hanging out with family, or hanging out with friends. And just make sure that you take some time for you. And so that's just leading into this next part, managing your personal time. So these are just some self-care ideas over break. We want to make sure that everyone is able to get recharged over break and really get into the last leg of the semester feeling great. So these are just some self-care ideas. You can listen to podcasts, and they can be like anywhere from I want to learn more about this topic academically, or just like I'm listening to something about pop culture. So it's really different. There's really a lot of variety there, and you can kind of see which ones you would be interested in and just spend some time listening to something and relaxing. Another thing is taking a walk outside. The weather's been getting nicer, it's been getting hotter recently, so you might just want to take a walk outside, see all the spring blooms and everything. And some more ideas is like meeting up with your friends, doing some meditations, getting some exercise toys so that way you're staying active over break, not just staying in your bed all day. And maybe taking an online course or browsing some new material that you are interested in, and or baking or cooking, and also maybe spring cleaning. And you might not want to clean your entire room, but maybe reorganizing some parts of your room can help bring new light or get yourself in a space which you like better. Or becoming a plant parent, go and get like a succulent or an easy plant to raise and just have it in your room to bring a little bit more energy. And if you're looking for more, we have our self-care presentation as well, so you guys can go look at that for more tips. And so you can find the slides for this presentation as well as the self-care presentation on our website. If you want to sign up as a site member, you can sign up with your Pleasanton email for privacy purposes, and we will let you in as soon as possible. And yeah, if you guys have any questions or if you guys are looking for any advice both about self-care and having a productive spring break, or anything in general about the process of high school, you guys can send us an email at avmentors@gmail.com or send us a DM on our Instagram. We're pretty active there. If you guys have any questions or any concerns, you guys can be sure to let us know. I hope that this was helpful for you guys, and we hope that you enjoy your spring break.